if you're on visual, you could probably tell that we are not in our normal set. We are in my family kitchen dining area. So we are currently in the Bay Area. Kristen has been here for a full week now.
Yeah, a little over
a week.
Yeah.
I got here Thursday. I leave tonight, so I was just here for the weekend, and we had a big lake weekend at our friend's house up in Clear Lake, which is like an hour and a half ish north of where we grew up. So we've been out here.
It was a really, really long weekend though, and that's why you guys didn't have an episode last week.
Yeah.
Without getting into details, full transparency kind of. We were supposed to record the day that Alex got here, but there was just some personal stuff going on with the friend group that we kind of all just needed to be there to support each other, and we weren't able to record before this weekend. So sorry we dropped the ball on that, but we're recording now.
Yeah. And you guys get an episode now. And if you're on our Patreon, you also got an episode Friday.
Yeah.
And we did our regular Zoom sessions throughout the week. So sorry to our Monday listeners, but we're back. And we won't do that again. We're sorry.
No way.
We'll let you know.
I just feel like I don't have a brain right now. And we've gone to the lake several times, but I was talking about it with Tanner, like, we really are just getting older.
I had that thought this morning. We're all, me, Kristen, Brie, and Leanna, we're all in the group chat just talking about how we like slept like ass last night. Like we could barely wake up.
Our bodies hurt.
Like I'm so sore. I'm so sunburnt. And my first thought was, oh, it's just because like we can't hang like we used to.
Literally.
Like we need a full day to recover now.
Yes.
I'll probably be good. I mean, having to be on a 6-hour flight tonight, is it helping my case? But like I'll probably be top notch, I'll say Wednesday.
That's what I was gonna say. Wednesday I'll be fully back to normal, but until then I'm toasted. One thing I did do though this morning before I came over here to record with you, I'm staying with Tanner. I completely we completely unpacked our bags. Laundry's going. Like I was like, we have to get all this lake shit out of these bags.
Especially like you guys, Clear Lake is
disgusting.
It's disgusting. it's beautiful. The water's really high because California got so much rain this past season. So the lake itself, it's gorgeous, but the water itself,
like if you look too close,
you see like we took off our bathing suits and like the amount of green algae that was actually like stuck to our skin and stuck to the inside of our bathing suits. It's as if we swam in a swamp.
Yes.
Like you're fully green, right?
We literally did.
It's so green and it smells like I did my laundry last night, and my bathing suits, I have to do like another cycle for sure.
Yeah, no, I have a bathing suit that has a little bit of white on it. It's not like a white bathing suit, but it has like a stripe, and that stripe is like off yellow.
Yeah,
like it's just
a little tinted,
just a little
now.
Dirty now. So that's what happened. It was really nice though. We had like 20 plus people there.
Yeah, I think like 26.
And it was
a lot.
It was a shit show, but it was a good shit show. But then some parts were like, oh my, like, what do you do when that many people are pushed together? We all have different needs, wants, opinions, and like, what do you do at that point? But we made it work.
Yeah, it was.
I hope everybody had fun.
We went there for a birthday, and this is the first time that all of us had been together in a minute. So we had to get, like we said, our friend has a house up there, but we had to get a separate Airbnb.
Right.
So we were all split up between the houses, and it was just like Kristen said, a lot of energy. We went out on the lake the first day, and everyone just wants to do what they want to do, and it's hard to coordinate with a whole bunch of 28 and 29-year-olds.
Right.
And try and get them to all do the same thing. So it was a little chaotic, but it was fun.
Did I tell you? So I got there a day before Alex. Did I tell you that we were about to like get on the boat, get on the jet skis for like a chill first day, and Tinel couldn't find his jet ski key?
Yeah.
Did I tell you this already?
Well, someone told me that he left it in Davis.
Yeah, and he had to literally go get
across the lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was gone for like 2.5 hours to get it made. But that day was probably like, yesterday was really good. But other than yesterday, that day was probably my favorite because we kind of were just like, oh, well, what do we do? And we got the paddle boats out. We were paddle boating on the lake, which I hadn't done. Like it just like, it was more of a calm vibe. So that was really fun. But yeah, he lost his fucking key. And it was one of those moments where I was like, this is the lake weekend.
It's
like there's always gonna be something.
There's always something missing. Someone forgets something. We didn't coordinate this time correctly. Like it's always something.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt.
Yes.
Because I feel like that obviously is always a possibility, especially as we get older and we're fucking around on jet skis and wakeboards and whatnot.
Right.
Nobody got hurt. Everybody's sore, but nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
One of our friends actually broke his toes a couple days prior.
Oh, so literally like two days
2 days prior. So he actually ended up leaving early because he was like, I just can't hang, you guys. Like, I need to heal up.
Yeah.
But yeah, thankfully no one got hurt.
I'm so surprised he left though. I was like, dang, like good for you. Like you're really being an adult right now, leaving out of responsibility. Like good for you.
Making the like conscious decision to not, because he could have very easily just like sat and hung and not done anything because he really contributed on the boat. He drove for all of us because he didn't drink. He didn't want to like drink and then hurt his foot even more.
Smart.
So he took the L and ended up driving the boat all day. So I think he was just tired. Ended up leaving.
Yeah. Now I get that.
If you hear jingling in the back, it's
Santa.
my dogs.
Santa Claus is here.
Tucker.
Oh, Tucker's so cute, you guys.
I wish I could get Boomer. Should I go get him?
Boomer. You guys gotta see Boomer. And if you're on audio, like, please come over here real quick and look at Boomer. He's the cutest little dude you've ever seen. Alex also has a really, really good impression of Boomer. So maybe she'll do it for us. Oh, wait, she's done it. The Chihuahua impression. I think you guys have heard that before. This is kind of weird. I'm podcasting alone right now. Hey, guys. Why do I feel like uncomfortable? Why do I feel awkward? Oh, here's Boomer, guys. Oh, hi, Boomer. Oh, he's camera shy.
He's 18 years old. He's just a little camera shy. He can't hear nothing.
Oh, what? Hi. Oh, I wish he'd show his stinky little head. Look at his beauty. Oh, it's because he sees your mom. Oh.
You know what I noticed today? If you can't tell, I'm sunburnt as hell.
I look super pale right now, but I tanned. Maybe it's like the color of the shirt I'm wearing. I don't fucking know. I look like I didn't even go with you.
Well, your face doesn't get dark.
No, yeah.
My face
got
my
face. Yeah, your
so
face
burnt.
get dark.
It got so burnt. But the sun, I'm not used to this harsh of a sun.
Mm-hmm.
Being in New York for 2 years now, like, or a year and a half or whatever, the sun is so diffused by the buildings, the clouds. Like, I'm so not used to the harsh, hot sun beating down on my body.
Yeah.
And it really, really affected me.
I had that thought even before the lake. It was the day after I landed here, and Tanner and I were in the Safeway parking lot. And I was like, it's beautiful. Like, this place is so nice.
So wide, and you could see the full sky.
Like, I could peripheral to peripheral, left to right. I could see the whole sky. And this sounds so silly, but like, if you live in a big city, New York or not, like, you get what we mean by this. And like,
it's so not part of you forget about it.
I fully forgot about it. And a big one that like I'm really noticing is not hearing the hum of the city constantly. Wow.
Yeah,
like,
it makes a difference.
It stresses me out. The hum of the city, I don't like it. And now that I'm hearing like we can open this, we're podcasting right now, and if we open this window, like, it'd be okay. Yeah. It wouldn't pick up on
It would just be
audio.
like a breeze.
It'd be just like a nice breeze.
Yeah.
But like when we open our door, our window, it's
God.
like and then you close it and all the windows have to be like soundproof.
Yeah, that's why I like having the door closed at home, because like when I'm in the house, I want it to be quiet and I want to like hear my brain. So that's why I like having the door closed.
Or like if we're watching a show, we can't even have the door open if we want to, because it's so fucking
We have
loud.
to turn our volume up on our TV so loud. And our TV has this function. Our TV has this function where if it hears like a loud noise outside, like in our environment, it'll automatically increase the volume on the TV for us. Like, we can't even change it. So every time, if the door's open, if there's a siren, if someone's honking, like sometimes there's crazy, like, I almost said riots.
Parades.
No, like the protests, right by the UN. Like if they walk by, our TV will like yell at us. It gets
loud.
so loud.
We crack up every time though. It's so funny because it always comes at the funniest moments.
Yes.
It like tries to like out overspeak you. Or if you and I are making like noises to each other, like cracking up about something, our TV gets louder than us and like feels like a competition.
And they're like, no, listen to me.
You know, literally it feels very pygmy TV. But yeah, I'm noticing that it's not happening here. And I'm sure for several different reasons, being around Tanner and whatnot too, like I've been so calm and I have not had anxiety. I've not taken CBD one time since I got here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the noise of the city, and I think it's being with Tanner.
100%. Yeah. That's definitely a big one, but it feels good. Like I haven't been this chill in months. Yeah. To be honest, for this like period, this long of time. Yeah. God, words are not going to happen today. Just a big heads up if you want to click out of this episode. No, I'm not going to judge you for that one. Okay, for old time's sake, because I feel like it's been like a month since we've done this, let's do song of the day. We're not going to do what we're wearing because I'm not even wearing pants and I'm wearing a vague t-shirt, and that's all you can see here today. And your outfit's actually cute. You can see what you're wearing. Top. Oh, you're covered in boomer hair.
Yeah, I got boomer hair all over me.
Great
These tank tops are my fucking ride or die.
Yeah.
If you are bigger chested and you like this like low U cut, it's hard to find ones that like are casual but still are tight.
Yep.
And I don't really like shopping on Amazon for
it's
clothes.
Such a fucking hit or miss. And then usually it's a miss, so that means you have to go and return it, and it's annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know there's ones on Amazon, like I've seen it all over like Amazon, TikTok or whatever. But these are from Abercrombie.
Right.
And I guess they're a little pricey. I think they were like $23.
I don't think that's pricey for a tank.
No, but I mean, when we're comparing to like,
well, it's quality.
Yeah, it's quality. And these are fucking quality. I have it in black and white. I'm probably going to go online and get every other color and maybe like double of the neutrals. Because
at least the white, because my white ones, they always get dingy. So I like to buy a lot.
Yeah, it's already getting dingy. I've already washed it like a few times, but Abercrombie, the best fucking crop tank top.
There it is.
And then I'm wearing just the hundreds, like windbreaker pants.
Yeah, like
windbreaker jogger.
Pants for the lower half of her body. Pants. I'm wearing my Chef Curry shirt that I got.
Chef Curry.
We were shopping one day. We were at CardCon in Irvine, so it was some little store in the Irvine Spectrum. If you care. Anyway, song of the day though.
So my song of the day is Dive by Olivia Dean. I've put her on my song of the day a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think I did UFO. This album came out late June. She just released her North American tour. So I'm going in November.
When? Where?
Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the venue is. I think it's really small.
Like a smaller venue?
Yeah.
Weird.
So I'm really excited about that because this whole album's so great. Dive, I think, is the one that I said I would pick. Yeah, it's a great song.
Lake vibes. Dive into
the water. It's actually not a lake.
Nothing to do with water?
Well, diving into like the relationship.
Okay, so that's like emotional dive. Like,
yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
But like by definition it's water. I get it.
Oh my God. Wait, sorry. Speaking of water, did I send it to you? I saw a TikTok of an aerial view of like a beach and all these people on the beach. And I think the woman probably had a drone or something, but she was like, check the footage. And this is how many sharks we ended up swimming next to. And it was just like sharks swimming.
Please send me it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to freak out.
Yeah, you are.
But that's fine because I already am not going to go in the water. So like,
right.
Prove my point.
Okay.
Prove my point. No, send it to me later. That's fucking crazy. My song of the day is going to be off Post Malone's new album, Austin. It's so good.
It's really good.
God, which one? Let's do Texas Tea. That one's super vibey. I really like this album though. It seems like, I mean, the fact that it's called Austin, like I was thinking it seems more him.
Yeah.
It's not just like pop after hit after hit after hit. Like you could tell like he likes these songs.
He's like making the music.
Right.
Yeah.
Good for him. So there's my song of the day. Okay, before we get into today's episode, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Ritual. You guys have heard us talk about them before, but today specifically we're talking about the Essential for Women's 18 and Up blend.
So there's 9 key nutrients that you take in 2 capsules per day, and their capsules are really cool. They're like this patented beadlet in oil formula, so they're really like smooth going down. And one thing I noticed is, you know, when you travel, how your body's just like so naturally out of whack.
Yep.
It's so nice because Ritual, you take these and I don't get an upset stomach with them at all. So it's like one less thing to worry about while I'm traveling.
100%. And each of those capsules, they have this like minty taste. So you're not getting that, you know what I mean?
Vitamin flavor.
Vitamin flavor. Literally wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
No.
You don't get that. When you like swallow it, it feels like you like swallowed your gum.
Yeah.
But like in a good
smooth.
way. Right. It's smooth gum.
It's like if you suck on your gum and swallow it. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus is one of the few multis that's actually USP verified.
It's also soy-free, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and no GMOs. So no more shady business. Ritual's Essential for Women 18 Plus is a multivitamin you can actually trust. Ritual is offering our listeners 30% off during your first month.
Visit ritual.com/Oddvice to start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 Plus to your subscription today. Thanks, Ritual.
So since we knew we were going to be home for this episode, we just thought, what better idea? We've actually had this idea for a minute, but what better time to film this idea? We wanted to do kind of like an urban versus suburban like debate comparison, yeah, because it's not a debate. We're not necessarily saying which one's better, but
notice it, like changes that we've noticed having lived in both places for at least a few years. And you know what I've noticed is us living in LA, like, yes, you think LA is like very metropolitan and city, but we lived in the valley and that is very much suburban.
It's suburban. Very
now
suburban.
Having lived in New York City, our LA experience was absolutely suburban.
So I guess for this episode, let's kind of say what we mean by urban versus suburban. Like Alex just said, when we're saying urban, we're talking about like a grid city, like
fully metropolitan,
everything's walkable, like parking garages, underground, like you guys know what we mean, like skyscrapers, all of that. And then obviously suburban, let's go like no building is taller than like 5 stories tops, and that's a hospital. Like
a hospital or a hotel.
Right. Like you guys get what we're saying. And I hope this episode could also serve as a resource if you are somebody that's considering moving. We get those messages all the time. People like, I'm thinking of moving to New York. Like,
what's city life like?
Right. I feel like this can also be kind of like a taste of at least our perspective of living in both for as long as we have.
Right.
Like we kind of already said, I feel like the first thing I noticed the second I touched down was the volume.
Oh, was that the first thing?
Yes.
Whoa.
Literally, I had one of those planes. Like, you know how sometimes the plane, when you land, you either go in like that little tube thing that they like suction to the plane.
Yeah.
Or you have like an outdoor ramp.
Yeah.
I had an outdoor ramp and I was like, I was on a tarmac, Alex.
And like SFO.
But still. Because SFO is like out of San Francisco. It's like out of the city. But even that, I was like, oh my God.
It's like quiet.
It's quiet. And then I get on BART. We'll talk about BART in a sec. And I said that like you were like in trouble. Sorry, guys. And then I get off BART, and the second I got off at Walnut Creek BART too, I literally stepped out and it was silent.
Yeah.
Absolutely silent.
You could hear conversations that like people were having on the other end of the platform.
Yes.
I noticed that too.
I'm like, it just, I don't know why it shocked me so much. It blew me away. Probably because this is the first time I've been home after being in New York for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when we lived in LA, we were coming to the Bay like every 2 months. Like, it was normal and it was fresh in our heads and we were used to it. But now being fully submerged in New York for a year and not coming home for that long.
Yep.
I was just so shocked by it.
It's quiet. And you know what? When it's quiet like that, it kind of makes the air feel way more still.
Yes.
And your environment feels slower.
Yeah. Time has gone so much slower when I'm here.
Time goes so much slower here.
New York minute. Like, I get what they mean by that now. Because you're so right. Like, I'll go throughout a whole day and I'm like checking the time and it's only like 1, 2. And I feel like it's like not even on some jet lag shit, because I'm not jet lagged anymore. I still just feel like the time goes slower.
The time goes slower.
So much later.
The air is like more stagnant. You could, you're stuck. You're like, how do I put this? The thought that you're having that minute has like the time and space to actually like live there in that minute.
Yeah.
You're not constantly thinking about 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now. And like, I feel like when you're worrying about like thinking ahead and worrying about like what you're going to do in an hour and a half, all the shit that you have to get done. And like the New York Minute, just like city planning in your head and even thinking about other shit, like it really speeds up your time. It speeds up your day.
Exactly. You nailed it with like the planning. I think a lot of living in a city is planning when you need to leave to get certain places, because New York specifically, like you don't have a car if you're living in Manhattan. I mean, majority don't. So you have to plan like train times and walking times, and you have to kind of always be a few steps ahead so that you're planning for the current of the city, because like the city is going to move whether you step out or not, and you kind of like, it really is a current. I hope you guys like see what I mean by that. It's like hop in the water and it just fucking takes you down the road.
It's like the scene in Finding Nemo when the turtles go into that like tunnel thing. That is New York City. That is New York City. When you have something to do outside of your apartment in New York, you are stepping into that turtle tunnel, and it will take you wherever it wants to take you. Like you have no say of the speed of the current, the direction. Like you are at like the city's mercy.
That's such a good analogy. That's exactly it.
Yep.
And you don't have that in suburban areas. Like,
you know what's crazy?
You have a car, you hop in when you want to.
Yes, the car thing. So I went and got a manicure earlier today, and the nail place that I found on Yelp, I just found a random one because I did something simple. It was 2 miles away. And my brain was so like, okay, so that's going to be like 20 minutes to get there. Like 20 minutes to get there, probably like 45 for my nails, 20 minutes back. I was just fully planning for the full chunk of it. It took me 6 minutes to drive there.
Of course it did.
It took me 6 minutes
to
go 2 miles. That's nuts. Think about 2 miles in the city. If we went 2 miles in New York,
for 40 minutes,
40 minutes walking to the train, walking from the train. Like
even if you just walked the full 2 miles, you're probably looking at like 45.
Yep. If you walk the 2 miles, even if you hopped in a car, city traffic, that's a
fucking hour. That's the last one you want to do.
2 miles is crazy.
It's so crazy. I noticed that here. I mean, even I'm staying at Tanner's. I came over here.
Yeah.
That was probably like a 2 mile drive. I got here in like 4 minutes. I got here in a song, like a full song length, and like a little bit of the start of the next song, and then I turned off the car. Like and nobody on the road. The pedestrians when you're driving, like there's no pedestrians. You don't really have to worry about that. The fucking parking lots. Don't get me started on that luxury. Count your blessings, people.
I miss parking lots.
If you have a parking lot, like be grateful.
That's another thing. I knew what I would be able to like find parking, but planning in the city, if you are, I mean, we don't drive, but you have to like factor in where parking is compared to where you're going. Yeah. Whereas like out here, I pulled up literally like front parking space at my nail salon. Yep. There were like 2 other cars in the parking lot because it's a weekday, and people in like the suburban areas, they work on weekdays. Right. And like New York, weekdays kind of don't exist. No. Every day is busy no matter what. So like you get your nails done on a Monday in a suburban area at 10 a.m.
Nobody's going to be
No one's in there. You're like, oh, it's going to be dead. But you do the same thing in New York, and it's like it's a Saturday.
Especially all like New York, San Francisco, LA, like you're going to have a lot of those creative jobs where people are working from home too. Yep. So they are able to like do it from their phone, sitting in the nail salon, or out at a cafe with a glass of wine with their laptop next to their Caesar salad. Like people, when you live in a city, I think you don't like to be in your home as much because it's generally speaking, it's going to be smaller than a house in a suburban area. You're not going to have the backyard to go walk around, stretch, chill in the sun. Like your extracurricular is always outside of the house. Again, generally speaking. So a lot of people in cities utilize the resources of the cafe on the corner, the cute restaurant, the park.
It becomes a part of your
parks.
routine. Yeah.
Parks are a big one too. Like parks in suburban areas on weekends, you'll have like a party or a kid's soccer game or like here and there. But in
it's
a city,
not like today, I would never think like, ooh, I need to go out and go to the park.
nobody's going to be at the park.
No.
Because we can also just go out in your parents' backyard and like that's the size of some parks in New York.
Yeah. No, literally.
But in the city right now, even on a Monday, there's probably still people there with their laptops, headphones on, like little hydro flask full of iced tea, like on a blanket with their dog.
And I feel like parks specifically are more like leisure oriented out here. Like
rather than like, I need to get out of my house and touch grass.
Not a necessity.
Yeah, because it really is in the city. And that's even something like I feel like I try to work on is because
getting out.
Coming from a suburban, both of us coming from a suburban lifestyle into New York, we're used to our lazy days on the couch and all that. And we still have those, don't get me wrong, but it's really easy to get caught up in those if you're used to them. But the big lifestyle change was realizing, oh, I need to make it a priority to get out of the house. Yeah. Because then it's just, you're locked in.
I would never do it.
I wouldn't do anything. And then I would stay in an apartment that's several stories in the air.
Right.
I'm not even on the ground at that point.
No. There's no grass anywhere.
No.
There's Link's grass patch.
It's like full of poop.
We do groundwork on that.
We share it with Link.
We dig our toes into the dirt.
No, her grass patches she gets them like every 2 weeks, and towards the end of it, they are atrocious.
Yeah.
It's
super
scary.
muddy.
Yeah, it's a scary place.
One of the first things I noticed when I got to my parents' house was that I took off my shoes.
Mm-hmm. I took off my shoes at the front too.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that at Tanner's.
And like people don't
do that here.
You keep your shoes on in the house.
Because like
it's not like
you're not as dirty.
You're not like trekking in other people's like grime and dirt into your own house.
And like human feces on the street of New York City.
Yeah, that's another thing. The homeless problem. Like in the like northern part of the Bay Area, I've seen maybe like 2 homeless people.
Right.
And it's really bad in New York, as you probably know. It's also really bad in San Francisco.
I was just gonna say that. San Francisco is like really, really fucking bad right now too. I feel like all the BART stops that we stopped at were pretty bad and whatnot.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, it's just back to the shoes thing. Like you
don't know what's out on the streets.
Right. Like New York, it was a no-brainer that we were doing no shoes because of the things that you accidentally step on all the time. And like, I'm thinking about like that one entrance to Grand Central.
Oh, on the left?
Yep. It smells so bad.
Literally like human feces. And you know you're walking in it.
And then when I get home, I'm like, okay, I have to just take off my shoes right here.
Yeah.
We should get one of those. I've seen they're like scrub mats. They like disinfect your shoe. You step on it real quick and then you can step into your house.
I'm down.
We could put it I wish we could put it outside our door. Our building doesn't let us put anything outside of our door.
No.
Which is
Tripping
so annoying.
hazard.
But yeah, we should do that. That was a side note. But yeah, the shoe thing I noticed. I also noticed people are a lot nicer, but not in the sense that they're mean in New York. I think maybe the word I want to use is like flexible and patient and more like go with the flow. I'm sure that's directly tied to the fact that nobody's tripping about time.
Out here? Yeah. Oh, I feel the opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I've ordered food, like they're like, oh, what can I get for you? Like they listen to me.
Oh.
Like it feels like sometimes certain places I order in New York, they're like, okay, next. All right, like when you're like
rushing you?
Yes. If that's what I mean, like the patience. It's not like take away the word nice because everyone's nice. People are nice in New York. Like that's its own thing. I think it's just like the patience.
I experienced that like opposite here. I feel like since I feel like since the city is like so rushed, at least when I like go get my nails done or like when I'm ordering a coffee, I feel like they're pretty. Like they know it's going to be busy. I don't know. I'm just speaking on like the coffee shops that I go to and like my regulars.
Right.
I feel like they know it's going to be busy and I can always clock when they're like, I'm going to be here no matter what. It's going to be busy no matter what. So I'm going to be in a good mood. Like I've experienced that more in New York than I have out here. And I feel like when out here in like the suburban areas, especially like restaurants or stuff or anything, like I've noticed when it gets busy, they get so like chaotic and like flustered.
Like don't know how to act.
Yes, they get more so flustered out here than they do in New York.
I guess I haven't been anywhere busy out here, so I can't speak on that. But
yeah, if they're not busy,
depends on where you're going, I guess.
Totally.
But things like that, to that point, like nowhere gets that busy out. I just spit so bad. Nowhere gets that busy out here, so maybe that's why I feel like they're more patient with me.
Yeah, because they got the time.
Right? They're literally like nobody's rushing.
Yeah,
like it's if they are rushing, like there's usually just like one person rushing. It's not like a whole energy of everybody rushing.
Right?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that made sense. I feel like another thing I've noticed is, like, again, at least for me, out here, people go to their favorite spots.
Oh, yeah.
In the city, you try new things all the time. Like,
yeah, you're overwhelmed by options.
Right. But in a good way. At least for me, like, I feel like for a minute we were going in New York, we were going to Maman for coffee. Yeah. But now we go to Blank Street. Like you switch around your favorites a lot. But here, like, even again, like living with Tanner for the past week, like he likes his place to get his favorite sandwich, his place to get his favorite ramen, his place, like it's
because like the less options you think about, like to that point of Tanner having like his favorite one-offs of everything, especially in like the city or the town that we're in right now. You got one good pho spot, you have one good ramen spot, but the thing is about in New York City,
especially New York,
especially when we're talking about like food and drink in New York City, when we go and get a coffee, we like it for a couple months, and then you're like, oh, I have the liberty to go one block over and get just as good a quality coffee, but like it might offer me like a different flavor. Like,
or like the cup will be cuter. Like I know that sounds silly, but that's something I value when I go to a coffee shop. And I like a cute cup.
Like despite the fact that like the quality of the different restaurants, I noticed that I like switching up my routine more so.
Yes.
Like I was going to Maman, but then I was also going to Remy Flower Shop as well. And then I like one day I was walking and I was like, I do this walk every morning. I want to walk somewhere else.
I get like that too.
Yeah.
Then the walk doesn't become the walk. The walk becomes the song I'm listening to, or I'm looking down on my phone and like I'm not doing the walk that I intended. Yeah. But when you go somewhere new, then you're like forced, head up.
You're looking around, and like that's another thing. When you go and you walk to a different coffee shop, you're also walking by 5 different restaurants that you could try out.
I do that all the time. I look it up on Yelp as I'm walking and I add it to my little list. Like,
there's so many options.
There's just so many options. And that's the epitome of like when we tell people like what we're paying for our place or anything like that, your cost of living in a city, they're like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy. And it is crazy when you put it down on a dollar amount. Yeah. But there's one of many reasons. It's because you're in the middle of a place with so many options. There's always something to do. It's you pay for what's around your building. Absolutely. Not for just your building. Whereas suburban, you're putting your money into your property.
Yeah. You put your money into your property, and then everything outside of your property is just a plus. Yep. And like you don't usually stray from your normal favorites.
Yes. That's so interesting. It's actually polar opposite.
Yeah, that part is. And I think it's even funny saying like having favorites in the city, because I feel like I only have like spurts of favorites. Like I'll never go back to the city and be like, oh, this is my sushi spot, this is my coffee spot. Like I want to hop around. Like I want to be able to experience. I mean, they say that you could live in New York City for like decades and still not go to every single restaurant that's in the city, which I fully believe. So
because there's new ones popping up literally
constantly,
weekly. Yeah. New places popping up, old ones shutting down, new ones coming in. Like the turnover, it turns into a new city every day. Right. Like everything's different.
And it makes trying new restaurants fun because a good majority of them are going to be so highly rated and they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like even trying, like say a new ramen place did pop up here in Vallejo, like it's so risky to try it.
People are going to be like, I don't know.
Are you sure?
You're not the old one though.
Yeah.
And like, we love Jim at the old one. Like,
right.
There's like this unspoken, like, hold on, I have the word. When you're like
ties to it,
like devoted to something, loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty. There's a lot of loyalty to your favorite spots because like you could be a regular and like the people know you and like.
Right. And they're usually, I mean, a lot of spots, especially in Vallejo, a lot of spots are mom and pop-esque
right.
as far as restaurants go. So like if you try a new ramen spot, you're like letting your people down.
Yeah. Yep. Completely. People take it a little bit more personal because it, like you said, the overall age difference in these places is huge too. But I feel like that's a macro topic right there about
population in general.
Yes. Like you slow down and like you get to an age where you want like that calm lifestyle. But so that one is more of an obvious, but I guess coming from New York to Vallejo, like it is so black and white to me. Because even if we went to Walnut Creek over the bridge, this conversation would be different.
Right. But that's definitely a different pace too.
Right. That's like in the middle.
It is in the middle because you could settle in the outskirts of Walnut Creek and like you could retire there. Like I think Concord is quite literally like on the top 5 places to retire either in California or in the country. Like people fucking retire in Concord.
Why?
I don't know. I mean they
Waterworld.
They have really nice like ranch style houses and a lot of
true.
land and like the property value is really good out there.
The houses are pretty.
Are pretty. Yeah, so Walnut Creek is very like you have those outskirts of the like older populations, but you can also go there. They have like a really nice downtown. They have somewhat of a nightlife. Like they're outskirts enough of San Francisco to where you can
go out there for a night.
You can go out there for a night. Like you still get like less suburban-y, more like metropolitan experiences in Walnut Creek.
That's like us living in the valley.
Right.
Like we were able to go over the hill, over Laurel Canyon into West Hollywood and have a night out in West Hollywood, which is fucking nuts.
Right.
But then get in an Uber afterwards and come home to like a very calm place in North Hollywood. Like that's kind of what like Walnut Creek to San Francisco feels like. Totally.
And then here where we are right now in Vallejo is like fully suburban. I think it's far enough from the city to be I don't think there is a lot of like newer young people coming into Vallejo. It is a lot of like middle-aged older people. I don't think a lot of people retire here either though. I think if you were born here, you could very easily stay here.
Sure.
Your whole life.
That's also like to that point. I feel like that's a big vibe of suburban mentality in general. I mean, and again, nothing wrong with that. We're just kind of laying out what we've observed.
And a huge generalization too.
Huge generalization. I mean, we grew up in suburban and we moved out. Like we know so many people that have moved out of suburban areas, but yeah, just generally you hear that a lot too. When you talk to people, they're like, oh yeah, like my great grandparents have been here. Like me right here, literally almost all my family has been here for like decades. So
my Oma's house is right down the street and she's had that house for 62 years or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it does kind of hop around, but
kind of back to the note of nightlife. And when we lived here in the Bay Area specifically, when we thought of nightlife, we totally like planned our night to go out to San Francisco. We planned how we were going to get out there, especially like when drinking was involved. We planned how to get out there, how to get back home, what we were going to do when we were out there, because you only go to like 2 or 3 spots.
You had to make it worth it.
Yeah, you have to make it worth it. And then you don't just like, I mean, you bar hop in San Francisco and stuff, but like you have to plan ahead because you can't get dropped in one spot and then like plan to go across the city and then back and
it just takes a little bit more planning.
It takes more planning.
Because you still need to get home.
Right. Whereas in New York, we could be laying on the couch and we could be like, should we go out tonight? And then we get ready and we literally step out of our apartment and that is us going out.
We are out and we can be at a bar in 30 seconds.
Yep.
Not exaggerating. We could be at a bar in 30 fucking seconds.
And it's a good bar, and it's like one of our favorite bars.
Boom. And you have like a full night out, and we didn't even pay for a cab, an Uber, not even a train, because you're just walking.
Yeah,
the walkability.
Walking.
It's crazy
when we go out.
Another thing I noticed about kind of going out, but not just nightlife, I mean like going out of the house, is what I wear.
Oh.
In New York, I'm going to wear my little crop top that's damn near under boobie with my low-rise jeans and my chunky ass sneakers to go to like Trader Joe's, and so's every other bitch next to me. But going to Trader Joe's here, or even Walnut Creek, like literally anywhere out here, I'm like, I mean, right now I'm in like a big tee and a hat. Like
you just like don't care.
I care, but I'm noticing that I'm caring more of what it'll look like, because I'm going to be the oddball out. Whereas, like I just said, the Trader Joe's in New York, we're all dressed like that. I notice here everyone dresses just like, I guess, I don't want to say more conservative necessarily, because it's not that.
I think there's just a very clear difference out in the suburban areas as far as like getting dressed up and then your day-to-day attire.
Yes.
Whereas in New York, if you are fashion forward and you really dive into like the fashion identity of New York City, then dressing up isn't really a thing. Like
you're always dressed up.
You're always dressed up. Your casual attire is always like pieced together because, you wake up in the morning and that's part of your routine to go get your coffee is to like, ooh, what cute outfit am I going to put on right now?
Your cute like shirt, oversized shirt with your cute boots that you just got off Etsy. Like it's
right.
But here, like I feel like my going to Trader Joe's outfit in New York would be like a club outfit here. Yeah. Like it'd be like a, whoa, what are you dressed up for?
And like specifically the like midriff part.
That's it. Cause I'm a midriff bitch and I'm not showing it here.
No.
I feel weird.
Even like going to get my nails done, like usually I would go in like a sports bra.
Right.
Or like, and I would have like joggers or like low rise pants and like I would be fine. Yeah. But like here, that would be like going out in a bra.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you forgot your shirt.
Yeah. Like, like, do you need a shirt in the gift shop? That's exactly it though.
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe it's just an insecurity, but it's how I feel when I go out here. I feel like I definitely cover up a little bit more. Even the colors I wear, I'm not like dressing as bright.
Oh, like bold.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I feel like I'm like scared to.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe you just dress like to the level of what everyone else dresses to out where you go.
Yeah, because I don't want the extra eyes on me for no reason. I don't care. Like be different again. Be different. We're going to a bar. Like shit, I'll take the extra eyes, whatever. But like
right.
Trader Joe's, it's uncomfy.
Yeah.
I when I went to Trader Joe's, I wore a Teddy Fresh zip up, but then I wore one of my like Skims little tank bra. Literally, it's not even a tank; it's a bra. But like in my head, it's a tank top. But I wore that with shorts and then flip flops, and even people at Trader Joe's were looking at me like I had
zip up your jacket.
Yeah, like I looked like a dirty little whore.
Yeah,
and I did zip up my jacket because I was like,
fuck,
oh my god, like I'm sorry. I don't know. I literally wrote it down because I was like, this is something. I
think it could have a lot to do with just the fact that like, I mean, especially out here, like we just talked about it. There's an older generation out here.
Yeah.
So like grandma and grandpa are walking around the grocery store trying to pick out their produce and like, they don't want to look at
their prunes.
Yeah. They don't want to look like a 20-year-old in a bra.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, grandma and grandpa.
I feel like we kind of talk about this often when we go through our like little moments of gratitude, how we're very thankful that we've lived in not only like both very metropolitan and suburban areas, but like we've been able to experience San Francisco, LA, and New York City. Mm-hmm. Like that's very rare.
I was talking about this with, I think, was it with Monica or my mom or something? And I've signed a lease in San Francisco.
Right.
Downtown Los Angeles, Studio City, North Hollywood, New York City, like really big places. And I had that same moment. I was like, the fact that like I could even travel between the both of those places, like New York and the Bay and whatnot, the Bay Area in general, like,
right.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people don't see that, and we are very fucking grateful that we could see that and give you guys the experience of both, at least from our perspectives.
I'm now that and I kind of said this, I touched on this earlier in this episode. Now that I've kind of like fully experienced both, I really like city life right now, especially like the pace of my life right now. I feel like my life is very high energy. I've kind of like turned a knob in my life, if you will. There's been a lot of like good changes, and I really like the pace of my life. And I feel like city life is complementing to it right now.
I get you.
So like New York City has been such like a turning point for both of us. Like having lived out there for 2 years and experiencing it compared to what we grew up in. And then like, I feel like having LA was the perfect stepping stone for it. But it's making me appreciate, city life.
100%, especially coming back to Vallejo. I'm like, damn, like, yeah, it's nice. The quiet is nice and everything. And like I started with this episode, like my anxiety has been at an all-time low. But again, I feel like that is because I'm around Tanner. Yeah. Like I think if Tanner was in New York, I'd be A-okay.
And I think a lot of it has to do with needing that reset too.
Yeah.
Like I needed this reset of the weekend and going to the lake and like being in nature. It's important to like have those like crutches.
And majority of our people are here. So just being around, I mean, your tribe is like, that's a reset in itself. Even if we all just sat in a cardboard box, it would have been just as grounding.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as back to this topic, urban versus suburban, I don't think I can come back to like this level of suburban, like Vallejo suburban, but I think I could do like Walnut Creek suburban. And I'm just using those as labels. Yeah. But like or like Studio City suburban, where like we were saying, 20 minutes one way, you're back into the craziness. Like I love the high energy. I feel like I need that. I feel like that's the level the pace that my brain works at, as you guys know. Right. So I think I would always need that. But I think as I get older, I see the value in both.
Oh yeah.
I say that because growing up I was like, I'm going to be a city girl forever. Like
through and through.
Yep. Like I was like, no, I need this chaos. Like, no, I see the beauty in both.
I couldn't do the city nonstop. Like there's people who live in the city and haven't left the city and don't leave the city. And whereas like
their kids in the city and like every stage of their life in the city.
I don't think I could do that. Kids specifically, that's a whole other topic. We can go there when that time rolls around. But kids, I've always said I would have in a suburban-ish area, because like I want them to be able to ride their bike down the street and like have a backyard. But also having like obviously met friends in New York who have grown up in New York and seeing the childhood that they have, I also am like, cool. It's different. It's not what I'm used to. It's not what I had, and it's not what I envisioned, but like they loved it.
It's all relative.
It's all relative, and it's all what you know. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things, like whatever happens. Exactly. But yeah, it's kind of crazy having those expectations. And then once you experience the other side of it, you're like, oh wait, there's a whole other universe that exists.
It's all about perspective. Yes. That's the epitome of that topic.
Of every episode we ever do.
It's all about perspective. But you're so right. Like we can only speak on, especially like the Bay, we've always said like, oh, we're having kids here because the diversity here is like on another level. There's so many things to do. And the fact that we drove an hour and a half to the lake, but we could also drive in the other direction, go to the snow. Like, there's so much value here, but there's also some really dope things that someone who grew up in a city like New York did growing up that we can't even fathom, that we probably haven't even done at 28.
But it gives them the same feeling that our experience gives us, which is like super hard to even fathom sometimes. Is like that gut feeling that you get, that we got this weekend being on the lake with all of our 26 best friends. people who grew up in another area also felt that doing what they do. And it's crazy to think that like we felt that this weekend, and like in my head I'm like, oh, this is the only thing that could ever like make me feel this way. But like no, there's other shit out there.
Right. That's exactly it. Yeah.
So if you guys are listening when this comes out on Monday, we have Monday Zoom calls with our Hella tier on our Patreon where we are reading a book. So we have a book club, and the book we're reading right now is called Thursday Murder Club. We thought about having our Zoom meetings on Thursday, but that's just like hard with our schedule.
Right. But
so
it would have been really cool.
Thursday Murder Club is actually on Mondays. So if you are on our Patreon or if you are on our Hella tier, that's where, if you're on our Hella tier, we are doing I think this is our second meeting for this book.
Yes.
And we're loving it so far.
It's so good, you guys.
It's so good. So get through chapter 33.
Yes. And if you want to join, it's never too late. Just literally speed to chapter 33. It's a super easy read. It's nothing crazy. And they're not crazy long chapters.
No, we're doing small chunks so that it makes everything a bit digestible for everyone.
Right. So you can always pop in just because you missed the first one. Not a big deal at all. Literally, you're always welcome. And if you are like, fuck reading, totally get that too.
Right.
We also have a separate Zoom call for that same Hella tier where we just catch up with you guys weekly. It's a fully separate call and we're not talking about books. So you could talk about anything other than
books. Books? I don't know.
I'm not talking about that. No way. But yeah, we just like hang out with you guys on Zoom and whatnot. It usually lasts like an hour and a half. And we've all just gotten so close. It's such an amazing community. So if you want to join, it's always linked down below.
Check it out. Yeah, that second Zoom call will be later this week and we'll send out a link to you guys and everything.
For sure.
And also on our Patreon, we do a second full episode every Friday, and it usually has to do with the topic that we talk about on Monday. So for this week's Friday episode,
I just want to hear what other people think about the urban versus suburban. If you're somebody that's lived in both and like even around the world, like it doesn't have to be just like in the States, something like that.
Also,
what's your experience?
If you have only lived in like a very rural or suburban area and you have questions for someone who has lived in an urban area or vice versa, if you've lived only in a city your whole life and you want to know what it's like in a suburban area, or like things that you always thought were true, or like
stereotypes and stuff.
Yeah, like stereotypes about city versus suburban life. Ask us, because I feel like we have somewhat of a good perspective on both, and we can kind of just like talk about it, continue the conversation.
I want to hear your guys' opinions on it, because we only come from a small corner. Like, I know there's so many other perspectives, even as our neighbors would have, you know.
Totally.
If you are listening on Spotify, make sure you give us 5 stars and leave us a little review. We actually wanted to do an episode where we read reviews that you guys have left us. We haven't, we purposely have like not read any for a minute. We started reading the other day and there was a really fucked up one that Alex saw. I was like, wait, save it for the podcast. So if you want to go get in a last minute review, please make it 5 stars. And we're going to go through and read
Don't
them
be
all.
mean on purpose.
Don't be mean. Love that. I'm about to get that tatted on my rib cage. Don't be mean on purpose. Be mean on accident. I put in parentheses. Okay, guys. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Turn on your notifications. YouTube is super weird about sending them out. So I always like to make sure that you guys have it on, and then leave a comment and let us know how you feel about this topic, your opinions and whatnot. Even if you're not on our Patreon, we still love to chat it up with you guys in the comments.
Right. Other than that, have a great week
and
happy Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, depending on when you're listening.
What about Saturdays
and Sundays? I don't know.
I don't listen Saturday and Sunday.
I don't listen to podcasts on weekends.
I think a lot of people do, like a little beach day. Like,
oh, I'm sure people do, but like they just don't exist in my head on weekends.
I feel like I try to just not be on social media on weekends, but that's just anything.
Are you guys like Monday when it drops listeners, or do you listen, like, do you bulk them and then listen to like 2 or 3? Like, I want to know what
people bulk
listen.
a lot.
Really?
That seems so overwhelming to me.
Yeah, especially with us talking. Are you sure you want to listen to 3 hours of us?
That sounds like I would need to like power wash my brain after listening to multiple hours of us. I can't even listen to myself for that long.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, guys. We will see you soon.
Have a good week.
Love you.
Bye.